Heartbreak. Oof. Ouch. How to navigate heartbreak with grace. Welcome to How to Love with Mayakova. I am sensuality and love coach, and today I would love to offer you my perception on heartbreak. I love love more than anything else in the world. I always believe that you can make any relationship work. And I also know that it's not easy. And for a very long time, as a person who has anxious attachment, I was terrified of heartbreaks. Even if I would hear about somebody's breakup, it would my heart would ache. I was terrified of breakups. To me, it was like, oh my God, end of the world. And in my work as a love coach, and also being a coach of the 90-day relationship experiment program, where we're redefining breakups and call it breaking upwards, where we set each other for success, where we appreciate each other and where we're grateful for each other. And it's not always the case. There are circumstances where people hurt each other very bad, where their wounds and patterns clashes, and there's so much pain that you're just drowning in pain. And at that stage, your job is just put all those pieces together and put some love to those wounds so they can start healing, so you're not going to be in pain 24/7. And that's not the time to celebrate and to give each other gratitude. And it's not even time to forgive. It's just time to feel. But what I know is that breakup, if we take all of the emotions and all of the stories, if we just look at a breakup from an energetic standpoint, it's simply a completion. Everything in our life comes to completion. Everything. It's part of our life. And grief is part of love. We cannot experience love in its depth without grief. And sometimes when you drowning in pain, closing the chapter makes the most sense. And that's okay. Because only when you close the chapter, only when you let that structure that was rotted, that was poisoned, to crash and collapse, you will have a chance, possibly, to rebuild again on a new foundation, bringing everything that you learned and with different sense of preciousness into this new relationship. So in your existing relationships, if you're hitting a point where it feels like we need to complete instead of putting yet another 3,059 times a band-aid, let it crash. Separate. But don't be in a trap where you separated, of running the stories how they wronged you and how they fucked up and how they are unfixable and you just the poor victim. Because that's not true. Those thoughts, they are extremely poisonous and they are actually destroying and offering more harm than any help at all. because it's never me versus them. That is not the foundation. That is not what relationship is all about. And there is different scenarios and there is different circumstances, of course, and you always have to honor your truth. But it's very important question to know, what is that truth? Because victimhood is not truth. Blaming everything on somebody else is not truth. Despair is not truth. Even your pain and grieving is not truth. And what I mean by truth is the deep knowing in your heart. And that truth is usually very quiet, and the answer will be very short. It's just going to be simply, it's time to go. Or, this is the love worth staying. Or, I have to soften and feel and love more. Because what helps you navigate any heartbreak is actually your connection to the love that you feel. So if because of any heartache, you're choosing to give up on love, you hate the feeling of love within yourself, you call yourself stupid for loving, you're going to make your experience of breakups and separation unbearable and miserable. And you're going to choose defense strategies and coping mechanisms that most likely will numb you and actually put you further away from your truth. So breakup and completion is actually the opportunity to crack your heart open again and open more. If you build an armor, the heartbreak helps to remove the armor and just feel the love. And experience this paradox that we might feel a lot of pain, but we still love the person. We love ourselves. We even love the whole thing because we have so much compassion and we're able to zoom out and see this from our higher self, from our divine self, whatever that is, whatever you call it. But it is 100% okay to come in any relationship to the point where you need to realize that this doesn't work and I need to let this go. And either be open to something new with completely new person, but bringing your new self, or building something new in your existing connection where you allow that break and collapse and completion to rebuild and cultivate a different change within you. And very often, final thing that I want to say, what many of us are learning through our relationship is understanding that relationships are precious and they are vulnerable, like an exotic flower. You can't just throw in a dark room and hope that it's going to figure it out how to blossom. Even if you had an enormous chemistry, it's not going to happen. So we're learning to cultivate the sense of preciousness and deep reverence to what relationship is. And finding your own definition, what it is for you, why it does matter, and how much can you do selflessly out of reciprocity, out of kindness. So your heartbreak is an opportunity for you, or even both of you, to blossom. Until next time.